Yeah, what's up? This disciple Marchello, Currence, also known as Rain, also known as War Pony, the spiritual warhorse, the spiritual workhorse, back at it, man. Whew, the 21-day fast is an offering unto the Lord, unto Yahweh. It's accomplished. It's an accomplishment. It's not finishing it. It's an accomplishment. You know, I came off around 146. You know, I prayed out about 146. Probably came off about 149, something like that. But definitely was 3 days in like 2 hours for sure. Like, like 3 weeks in 2 hours. So about one over 133 in the morning. So I came off at 11:33. So that's like definitely I clocked it in as 3 weeks in 2 hours, solid, right? And I had my first sip probably around maybe probably like 150. You know what I'm saying? But definitely after 146, and that's when I prayed out. So that's when it was accomplished. It definitely was accomplished, and definitely was fully. You know what I'm saying? See, people of excellence, man. We want to make sure it's down to the minute. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely was though. 2 hours, I definitely clocked it in at like 3 weeks and 2 hours. So and I wanted to give that extra time because I want to go even further. You know what I'm saying? So I like to let my body feel just going a little bit further. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of get past it, go a little bit further. You know, so that's actually how many times, technically speaking, I was fasting was 3 weeks and 2 hours. You know, definitely. And it is accomplished. It is finished. It is done. And spiritual things are gonna happen. Great things are gonna happen. And it's just all in moving forward. It's just all in moving forward and everything like that. And seeing what God's gonna do. See, when your enemies see these levels, this is what God say, I will prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. When all these critics and all these people see these levels, uh, you get a change of heart. That's gonna be your first step. You're gonna realize, okay, that's not what we thought it was. But that's not my issue. That you and I've been saying this. It's not my issue that you were not discerning because, in my opinion, all this cesspool of America, you this country is falling apart. And if I'm not a key member in your community, I'm saying, okay, you got Christians, right? And then you got Christian community. Mm. Do you see me a part of the Christian community? This is when you are discerning, right? Because now this person is a leader in your Christian community. Now you're trying to make me like that. But listen, don't insult my intelligence. You know I'm not a part of your Christian community in America. You know I'm not a part of what this church structure out here where these people are ministering to people and out here talking to people. You know that ain't what I am. I am a prophet unto God, which means God has me unto himself because of all of this stuff that was going on. While you think, well, he should be out here with the people. Let me explain something to you. I am now a prophet that is unto God, which means I am a prophet that is unto the Lord. I'm in his bosom because of all the things that has happened. God is not going to have, you think God going to keep me in the same position? and just let me get shredded and played with and all of this and nothing. Nope. You know what God did? He pulled me unto himself. Think about it. That's what he did. And now, listen, you don't need to discern or worry about me at all. You know why? Because I am unto the Lord. That no, I'm showing you. Listen, I'm not saying all of you. I'm not trying to sound special. I'm showing you from all the stuff that happened. That's the result of it. It's not just with me having this. Like they got this possession, this special position. I'm unto the Lord, and nobody else is not. No, it's not that. It's a spiritual result, a spiritual position based off the blatant disrespect of your community, where they was ghetto and they was redneck and they was unsophisticated and they didn't think nothing was gonna happen as a result. Okay, God pulled me unto Himself, and now that means you don't need to be discerning about me at all. Now you heard me right? Okay, that's all I want y'all to know. That's where it's at. Now, doesn't that make sense in the last days? God started pulling his people like me, away from the community unto himself, which means all this carnival show out here and all these people need to figure out this, need to figure out that. You don't need to figure out nothing about me because I am now unto God. I am unto the Lord, meaning I am his servant in his bosom. Listen. It ain't because I'm running from the streets. It ain't because I folded. It ain't because of nothing. And it ain't because I'm weak. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's because of disrespecting the prophet's position. You can't do that and get away with it. So that is where you do not try to worry about me because also I have not been a part of your Christian community structure. You have not seen me getting money from these Christians, and you have no. Let's keep it real, because that comes into support. You have not seen the Christian community structure supporting me. So then that's who you would be holding accountable. Just like in a business. I'm not saying it's a business, but if you in the business, you holding everybody accountable, right? And so when it comes to Christian church community, you're going to hold people accountable that is taking money from that is receiving money from the people. That's understandable because they're receiving all these monies, so to speak, from the people. So it would make sense to make sure they're good, right? That's who you're using discernment with. Not you're trying to use it with me being ghetto once again. See, what God is going to show everybody, I don't care if you're not ghetto, you might not be. You might not be unsophisticated, right? That's what I mean. You might have some class, right? And you could still be from the hood and have class, right? So it's not where you're from. It's how you carry yourself, right? You can be from the hood and nobody don't even know it. You got proper English. You talk properly. You know how to articulate yourself. You're intellectual. You're smart. You're witty. You're funny. You know you're cultured. Everything. It ain't got nothing to do with being from the hood. Don't insult my intelligence. But then there's ghetto people that didn't work on themselves and choose not to work on themselves. Now, what you're gonna see, like I said, although you might not be ghetto, you're going to find out as this situation goes on. I'm telling you this as a prophet. It was nothing but ghetto people, unsophisticated people that's all in it, and they scrambling right now trying to manipulate, and they can't because they're not sophisticated. They can't show you no sophisticated positions that they had in this situation. That's why it is the way it is. Now you see, and they stuck out there unsophisticated. And that's why they got to keep saying little words and saying little things and starting wars all over again. Calling people sexual deviants after a 21-day fast and starting wars all again. Listen, they cartoons and I'm not. And listen, I'm sorry you was under wrong impressions. I'm talking about these people out here. These gang stalkers and stuff. Thinking they can play with me for free. You can't play with no profit for free. No, that's not free, buddy. You thought it was. Now here's the tab. Now you're getting the tab, ain't you? Oh man, look at this tab. I can't pay this. Yeah, I know. You can't pay it, can you? Look at that tab. I can't pay. Not my issue, is it? I'm not concerned about that. I'm not concerned about it. And it's been because you are bushwhack. It listen, you ain't gonna be able to make up for it. You ain't gonna be able to do what you need to do. You just don't got it in you. And you can't fake certain levels. You can't fake being a professional person. That's why professionalism is practiced behind closed doors. Professionalism is practiced in your lifestyle. You don't do it. See, people that practice professionalism in their ghetto and they go to a job, they wind up proving to be ghetto, don't they? Because you go to a job and you're professional just for 8 hours, but because you go home and you're not classy and you don't have no character, eventually you're gonna fold as ghetto and lose your job because you don't practice a certain level of class on your own where you have self-respect and honor and all these different other character traits. So when you come to a job like that, you ain't gonna never be a manager because you barely holding on. you barely holding on for 8 hours to professionalism, ain't you? Yeah, that's it right there. You barely hanging on, ain't you? And then there's people that pride themselves on being classy and professional, and there's some people that don't care about it. See, people that's ghetto don't care about it. They don't care about. They don't care about. They don't care about being classy and ghetto and classy and professional. And listen, you can get mad. You can use psychological war. You can use witchcraft. You can do all of that. You can do all of that. And guess what? It doesn't ever change the fact that you're not professional and classy. And this is part of the reason. Listen, it's still on the same message. This is part of the reason that y'all are going through what you're going through because people set up and you thought I had a mental defect of thinking about children. You thought, no, no, listen, that's what I hit it, didn't it? You thought I had this mental defect where I was a sexual deviant. And because you're ghetto, you see obvious signs that that's not the case. But because you're ghetto and you wanted to keep going, don't you? That's what I'm saying. Putting everybody in harm's way. So like I said, what you're gonna find out, what you're gonna find out is that the whole time I've been pure and guarded according to the word that they've been throwing. All the stuff that they've been throwing, I've been pure towards it the whole time.